Amid the calls to remove Confederate monuments across the country, tonight there are questions about other monuments in New York, including those to Christopher Columbus and Ulysses S. Grant. CBS 2 political reporter Marcia Kramer says those questions now being asked as Mayor de Blasio seeks to remove symbols of hate in a quest for political correctness.
The city's 76-foot-tall monument to explorer Christopher Columbus that sits proudly in, yes, Columbus Circle, should be considered for the chopping block, removed as part of Mayor de Blasio's new purge.
He is a controversial figure, and I know that some people may take offense to that, but for many of us that come from the Caribbean islands, we see him as a controversial figure.
The council speaker saying Columbus just one of several things that should be considered for the dust heap of history as part of Mayor de Blasio's 90-day review of monuments, statues, and other icons in the wake of the demonstration by white supremacists in Charlottesville, Virginia. A spokesperson for Viverito says she also thinks that Grant's tomb should be on the review list. I asked the mayor about Grant because he's regarded by some as anti-Semitic. In 1862, he signed General Order Number 11, which expelled Jews from Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mississippi. I wonder if you think that somebody who did that, given the large number of Jews who live in New York, should be buried here in New York.
Marcia, I'm not familiar with that history. Obviously, I take it very seriously, but I'm just not familiar with it. You know, we don't tolerate anti-Semitism in New York City. We have to look at each one of these cases. We'll have a commission. They're going to come up with some universal rules.
But the real question for de Blasio, as he hunts for political correctness, is how far to go. Assemblyman Dov Hikind, who put the bee in de Blasio's bonnet in May when he asked him to remove plaques to Nazi sympathizers in the Canyon of Heroes, told me, "You can probably find something wrong with everyone in public life. That doesn't mean they should be purged," Hikind said, adding, "This is going to be fun to watch." How far should they go in deciding what's appropriate for New York City?
We have not looked at this as a city on a consistent basis. Let's be really clear about that, Marcia. We are starting from scratch. I think a lot of history that needs to be reevaluated, you know, went unspoken for a long time, and we've got to come up with some kind of standard for dealing with it.
De Blasio was also asked about removing paintings from City Hall, changing the names of schools and public buildings. I asked his folks if even the name New York City would be changed, since it was named for the Duke of York, a slave trader. His press secretary told me he doubts that the commission will put that on the table. It's certainly not our focus, he said. Dana?
Questions, and they just can keep the domino effect. So who decides this? Who decides what stays, what goes?
Well, the commission is going to be named next week, and the mayor himself says he is going to make all the recommendations.
Whoa. All right.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Marcia, thank you.